Hello everyone, this is Darion GNB here, and welcome to another GNB discussion. I'll try to do more of these in between video releases to talk about various stuff I want to give my 2 cents on. Today we will be talking about Netflix and Adi Shankar's Devil May Cry, or specifically the overall reception I've been seeing surrounding it, as I'm kinda taken aback by some of the reactions I've seen thus far. Now at the time of me recording this, the show has yet to come out. It'll be out in a matter of a few weeks as of me making this, but we've gotten plenty of trailers and clips to where people have reasonably made up their minds on whether this show's going to be to their liking or not. Me? I'm looking forward to it. I'll go more in detail with the few gripes I have in just a bit, but as a whole, I think it looks solid. And based on Adi Shankar's track record with his first 2 seasons of Castlevania, I personally have no reason to doubt he'll do right by DMC, especially seeing as how he's clearly a big fan and respects the franchise. So I doubt this will be a terrible experience. Cannot say the same for others, though. Before I continue, I want to preface how it's fine if from what you've seen so far that you're not excited for the show. We all got our own reasons to feel however we want to feel. I'm mainly going to be talking about the select few fans I've seen on stuff like Twitter, for example, that have been acting all doom and gloomy about this show long before we even got the first teaser trailer. I'm really shocked at how some DMC fans are acting like they've never experienced another piece of media before. Because at every new and different thing this show is doing, for some reason there are folks up in arms. Dante shown fighting human mercenaries even though he's fought humans in the franchise numerous times, gets people upset. Dante not having Ebony and Ivory, despite this being him very early in his career, in-game Dante never canonically starting out with Ebony and Ivory, gets people upset. Dante having basic attire and nothing extravagant, even though the last entry basically shows him in the same outfit and not many people having nearly the same visceral reaction as that game, has a bunch of people upset. Lady having a police-like uniform even though she's clearly a part of a demon hunting organization, which is a big part of her entire character, has people upset. On top of a bunch of other things that I find kinda ridiculous. Like, I'm not gonna try to act like it's a majority of folks acting this way over this stuff, because it really isn't. But I just find it so confusing how I'm going to be generous and assume it's a very loud minority, find so much disdain for it, that they're already screaming doom and gloom for the entire show based on factors that really shouldn't matter all that much. Seriously, who cares if Dante is shown fighting human mercenaries who are hunting him down? He's fighting demons all throughout the show, and even in the games, he's fought humans before. And if you don't like the Dante design for the show, that's fine. I'm just kind of indifferent towards it. It has the same problem I have with DMC5 Dante's look, and it's just that it's really basic. But you've got a few folks acting like this is a bastardization of the Dante design like the 2013 reboot was. And if you don't like Lady's design either, that's cool, but there's clear context for stuff like this that it feels like people are intentionally ignoring. Another thing I find weird are the people acting as if this show is meant to be canon to the games. Now, maybe this isn't a big surprise for me, considering that I've been trying to keep a close eye on this since it was announced back in 2018. But I find it odd at how some fans are under the impression that this is canonical to the games, when it was never going to be. Literally none of the animated works Adi Shankar is attached to, last time I checked at least, have any strong canonical connections to the IPs they're adapting. Netflix's Castlevania is not in the same universe as the games. I barely know dick about the Castlevania games, and even I know that much. The same clearly applies to this show as well. I don't even think you need to have any background knowledge of the production or anything. Just looking at it will tell you, like with the other IPs Shankar has adapted, it'll likely be its own thing. It's not a direct adaptation of a single game, it is mixing up a bunch of different things from throughout the franchise. The DMC1 prequel novel, the DMC3 prequel manga, and obviously some stuff from the DMC3 game itself. It's the same thing he did with Castlevania, mixing up a bunch of different things from throughout the franchise to tell its own original story. Now, just because it's not canon doesn't mean it's exempt from any type of criticism as an adaptation. Believe me, I have a few of my own gripes as well so far. But I'm really just confused as to why I've seen so many folks have that kind of impression so far. And another thing that I've noticed that's also surprised me, and again, this is from the lens of stuff I've seen mainly on Twitter, but I'm shocked at how much people damn near hate Adi Shankar and some of his past work. Now, I can't speak on any of the other stuff he's adapted because I haven't watched them. But I loved the first 2 seasons of Castlevania, and last time I checked, so did a lot of people, including some fans of the games. Now, I can't speak on the show as an adaptation, as I haven't played any of the Castlevania games, but it was just a really well-told story with fun characters and gorgeous animation and action, and some really good writing. Keep in mind, I'm referring to the first 2 seasons, because those were the ones Shankar was directly involved in, I believe. But if his DMC is going to be anywhere near as good as his work on Castlevania, story and writing wise at least, I think we're in good hands, guys. And I'm bringing this up because I again see so many folks already writing this off as if it's going to be trailer park edgy trash that's not going to have any of the depth and the heart that the DMC series is known for. And I'm just really confused as these are really bold assumptions to make when we're going off of so little. Clearly from the trailer, Dante is going to be a fun-loving, cocky, and playful demon hunter, like he is in the games, but there are also several moments that show him in distress and taking things pretty seriously, also like he does in the games. Now, I'm not trying to say these people are dead wrong in their own assumptions. I wouldn't fucking know, the show isn't out yet. But based on what we've seen, I don't know how these folks have come to this strong of a conclusion. As far as the music goes, I've seen people concerned. I think it's rightfully so, as some people aren't too big on the whole licensed music thing. Shankar has clarified the soundtrack will reflect the 90s and early 2000s, which is when the show takes place. And I don't know, using DMC as a way to reflect on the time when stuff like nu metal was really picking up sounds rad as hell, and I'm open to seeing what it all entails. But a lot of people don't jive with that, and would want music from the games. That's another thing I remember Castlevania fans being upset about. There not being many tracks from the games. But to be honest, I don't really think this show needs music from the games. Like, I have my issues with the OG DMC anime, and you'll see what I mean as I have a video coming up on it in I think a couple more weeks. But the anime not having game music wasn't one of the issues, as the original music they had was pretty solid, and it fit DMC pretty well. All this new show needs to do for me, alongside the licensed music, is to just have really good original music that fits the franchise. Like the little snippet we got of this one. That sounds really cool, and I hope to hear more stuff like that. Shankar says that there will be some of his personal favorite tracks from the games in here, so it's not like the show is going to be completely devoid of game music. This video isn't meant to be me saying people are wrong for having their various criticisms or anything, or me trying to be the show's #1 defender. This show could be hot dog dick for all I know. Again, it's not out. But I just find that a lot of the reception and disdain for Shankar and the show itself to be incredibly forced and overblown. Specifically in the whole Twitter space, as I mentioned. To go over the minor gripes I have, I don't like that Agni and Rudra have heads. It completely takes away from the uniqueness of their designs, and now they just look kind of generic. That, and them being primarily animated in 3D doesn't look that great. The art style and animation as a whole looks great, but whenever we focus on these two, it looks a bit off. There only seems to be one moment that's heavily animated in 3D, and it's the whole motorcycle chase bit. It looks really rough, and I hope it's only for that sequence. I find it weird how Cavalier Angelo is here. They pull in demons from all over the series, Plasma from 1, Echidna from 4, Agni and Rudra from 3, but Cavalier feels the most out of place given their history from the games. I know I went on about it not being canon, but considering that this is literally just meant to be a shell that Yura's entrapped Trish inside of, just makes it feel like a bit of a random inclusion. But otherwise, I can't wait to see what they do in the show. Even if we have the full context of the entire season, I think I'll stand on the fact that the clip they released is a horrible introduction for Dante and kind of misses the point of parts of his character.
The way this usually goes is I do that, then drop a killer one-liner. But I'm drawing a complete blank right now. This never happens to me, I swear.
He feels way too cringy and corny and not in a charming way like in the games. But Darion, Dante is always cringy. Are you even a fan of this franchise? How do you not know that one of the running gags in DMC3 is that he tries to be cool, but is actually a fucking dork who messes up? It's literally a matter of execution. All the shit Dante pulls in DMC3 has him fully commit to his wacky shenanigans, without him lampshading for the sake of acknowledging how corny he is. They could have easily just had him drop the Skeletor line after killing the demon, and it would have been infinitely better. Hell, I could prove it to you.
Man, Skeletor did not hold up since the 80s.
That feels more like Dante to me, and it doesn't drag the bit on for too long like in the original clip. Shankar again clarified that the scene is the only real lampshading moment in the season, and thank God, because if Dante was written as awkwardly as he is in the OG clip for the entire show, I damn near wouldn't be making this video, and I'd probably be on the hate train like a bunch of other folks. Based on the official trailer, it does seem like Dante will feel more like himself from the games. The banter he has with Lady feels like it'd fit perfectly in DMC3, and I can't wait to see more of their interactions. This vid went on a bit longer than I intended. Really didn't mean for that to happen, but if you stuck around to this point, thanks for listening to me ramble. Please stay tuned on the channel for when I review Netflix's Devil May Cry and other DMC related content if you're interested. This has been Darion GNB, and take care.